Chapter 18. After Yeshua had spoken these words, he went with the disciples across the ravine of the Kidron, where there was a garden. Accompanied by his disciples, he entered it. Now Yehuda, who was betraying him, also was well acquainted with the place, because Yeshua had often met with his disciples there. Then Yehuda, having received the Roman commander with soldiers, officers from the chief priests and the spiritual leaders, came there with lanterns, torches, and weapons. Yeshua, knowing everything that was going to happen to him, went out and asked them, "Who is it that you want?" They answered him, "Yeshua from Nazareth." He told them, "I am." At that, Yehuda, who was betraying him, was standing with them as well. So when he said to them, "I am," they moved backwards and fell to the ground. So again he asked them, "Who is it that you want?" They answered, "Yeshua from Nazareth." Yeshua answered, "I told you that I am he. If you want me, then let these go on their way." This was to fulfill what he had said, "Of those whom you have given me, I have not lost even one." With all that, Shimon Kepha, carrying a sword, pulled it out and slashed at the high priest's slave and cut off his right ear. The slave's name was Malchus. But Yeshua told Kepha, "Put the sword back into the sheath. Must I not drink from the cup which the Father has given to me?" After this, the garrison of soldiers with the Roman commander of 1,000 and the assistants for the people of Yehuda arrested Yeshua. They tied him up and marched him off first to Hanan, because he was the father-in-law of Caiaphas, who was high priest that year. Now Caiaphas was one of the one who had advised the people of Yehuda that it was in their best interest for one man to die on behalf of the people. Shimon Kepha was following Yeshua, and so did another disciple. Now that disciple was known to the high priest, so he entered with Yeshua into the court of the high priest, while Kepha was standing beside the door outside. So the other disciple who was known to the high priest went out and spoke with the girl on guard duty at the door, who then let Kepha come in. But then the servant girl who kept the door asked Kepha, "Are you not also with this man's disciples?" He replied, "I am not." Now the servants and assistants were standing around, having made a charcoal fire, because it was cold. While they were warming themselves, Kepha was also with them, standing and warming himself. Then the high priest questioned Yeshua about his disciples and about his teaching. Yeshua answered him, "I have spoken openly to the people of the world. I always taught in learning centers and in the temple, where all the Jewish people come together. I never taught anything in secret. Why do you question me? Ask the people who have heard what I taught them. They know what I said." When he had said this, one of the assistants standing close by gave Yeshua a slap in the face, saying, "Is that the way you give answer to the high priest?" Yeshua replied to him, "If I have spoken wrongly, then prove me wrong. But if rightly, why do you strike me?" So Hanan sent him, with his hands still tied, to Caiaphas, the high priest. Now Shimon Kepha remained standing, warming himself. So they asked him, "Are you not also among his disciples?" He denied it and said, "No, I am not." One of the servants of the high priest, who was a relative of the one whose ear Kepha cut off, asked, "Did I not see you in the garden with him?" Once again Kepha denied it. Immediately a rooster crowed. Then they marched Yeshua from Caiaphas to the palace headquarters. It was early morning. They themselves did not enter into the palace headquarters, so that they would not become ritually defiled, but still would be allowed to eat the Pesach lamb. With all that, Pilate went out to greet them and asked, "What accusation do you bring against this man?" They answered and said to him, "If this one had not done wrong, we would not have turned him over to you. So Pilate said to them, take him yourself and pass judgment against him according to your Torah. Those people of Yehuda said to him, we are not permitted to execute anyone, in fulfillment of what Yeshua had said, indicating by what kind of death he was about to die. With that, Pilate entered once again into the palace headquarters and summoned Yeshua. He asked him, are you then the king of the Jewish people? Yeshua answered, are you saying this on your own initiative, or did others tell you about me? Pilate answered, I am not Jewish. Your own nation and the chief priests turned you over to me. What have you done wrong? Yeshua answered, my kingdom is not from this world. If my kingdom were from this world, then my subjects would be fighting so that I would not be handed over to those people of Yehuda. As it is, however, my kingdom is not of this realm. Pilate then said to him, so you are a king? Yeshua answered, you say that I am a king. On account of this I have been born, and because of this I have come into the world, namely to give testimony concerning the truth. Everyone who is on the side of the truth obeys my voice. Pilate said to him, what is truth? After he had said this, he went out again to the people of Yehuda and told them, I do not find a criminal charge against him. But since you have a custom that I release someone for you during the Pesach celebration, would you want me to release for you the king of the Jewish people? With this they shouted back, saying, not this fellow, but rather Barabbas. Now Barabbas was a rebel outlaw.